welcome in this week's vlog. I thought I would make a list because there was so many things to do that I thought I'm just gonna forget about most of them. So I've made a list. Obviously that's not just this week. This is trying to find a place to put the coffee down. Working out everything that needs done from now on. And in fact, I was looking up, so back in December we did the first list of the job for the allotment, and I was just looking through the list there because I've never actually ticked anything of it because I knew what we needed done. But to be fair, I wrote it just as a reminder for when I was recording the video. So obviously we've done some weeding, but we still have some weeding to do. The tidy up around the greenhouse is still to be done. The paths still need to be sorted out. The pond still need to be done. And I was also planning to build 1 or 2 cold frames. So that's also part of the plan. But everything else has been done. So pulling out the sunflowers, cut the last fruit shrubs, plant the new ones, lift the bricks and the slabs that needed to be removed, sort out the greenhouse inside. Had more than what we asked for at the time. Building the gate, connect the water butt, and planting the bulbs. So all this had been done between December and give or take mid-February. So it's time to prepare a new list. This list will include the garden as well, which had been very much neglected in the past year. So yeah, time to add it to the list. So one of the first things that I would like to do out of that list is, please don't laugh, pull out the Christmas potatoes. So right there at the back, we have 4 buckets. What was meant to be my Christmas potatoes planted in August. I thought they failed tremendously. Probably about 6 or 7 weeks after planting them, we had really hard frost. That wasn't planned at all. It's not usual, but we had hard frost. The thing is, when they are growing in buckets like that, the good thing is you can bring them inside the greenhouse, keep them slightly off frost, or in a polytunnel if you have a polytunnel. Problem is, back in October, this greenhouse was just a jungle of dead plants and things all over the place. Obviously you might remember. So I couldn't bring them in. So I thought, just, tough, things happen. I've lost them and that's it. Then obviously all the foliage died back. And in fact, one of them didn't even had any foliage coming through. I don't know what happened, because there's pretty good drainage holes at the bottom of those pots. So I'm not exactly sure what happened. But I thought I'm gonna just dump them, and then back in, I think it's early January, the ground wasn't frozen there. I've put my hand down and maybe about, give or take, a couple of inches below ground, I've managed to catch 2 fairly decent sized potatoes. So I thought actually they might be okay. Problem is the frost came and proper winter came in, so those buckets were frozen solid for weeks and weeks and weeks. So top priority for this week, they are getting pulled out. The next thing that we have to do, and that's why I'm turning the camera this way, is finish to clear that space, paint the fence, and put the brackets on for the hanging baskets. So even if I don't put the strawberries there, which I don't know, I still don't know what I'm gonna do, but definitely I will get some tomatoes. I've mentioned that in the last vlog, so please go and watch it if you're not too sure what I'm talking about. The other thing as well that will need to be done fairly shortly, and mostly because I want the electricity to come in this greenhouse, is the path along there. At the back of the sheds, I've got some space, but I don't have space just now because it's a bit messy in there. So if I sort things out, I'll have plenty of space to store things. And that was the plan from the very beginning. For this next section, I'm taking you down because this is what we are talking about. So I've got those bedding plants, and I've got some more up there, which are doing okay in here, but there's not much point to keep them in here. I would like to plant them somewhere. I think I will probably do a planter or two, because I quite like to have planters to move about like that. I'm lacking a bit of color on the patio, so I'm thinking that I might just pop them up in a quick planter like that, ready-made. You know, I've got loads of pots, so I'll just make up a pot or two with those ones and then put them probably on the patio. Either that, or I'm going to use them to fill up in some of the pots that I already have. This is one of the job which needs to be done fairly shortly, so I mean, they're lovely, and it's a shame to have them hiding under the shelf there. So later on this week, I'm super excited for them. Later on this week, I'm gonna be sowing some melons. I've got the name written down, and I probably will butcher it, but look, and I don't know if you guys read the description, but when I'm sowing something, I always put the full name in the description so you can follow along, because I appreciate sometimes it's hard to understand what I'm saying, and sometimes I just mispronounce things completely, just like those melon, which are Retato, Degli, Ortolani. It's as much Italian as I will do for today. It is very early. I should probably wait later on in March, but I'm gonna do a few just now, and depending how they go, I might do another sowing later on. I'm very well aware that's definitely I'm rushing things, but I'm really keen on getting the melon started. I've made the executive decision to wait a bit longer for the watermelon, but I just can't hold off anymore for the melon, so I need to go. And apart from that, here in the garden, it's just, as I've mentioned, just a general tidying of the place. That's the plan for this week onward for the garden. At the allotment, there's not an awful lot that needs done this week. The one really exciting thing is we are doing the first direct sowing. So exciting! It's just great feeling to think that, you know, sowing stuff here in the greenhouse is one thing. You know, you start in December or January, but sowing stuff in the ground is just like, that's it. That's the start of the season. The other jobs that need done at the allotment are obviously we need to remove the rubble bags full of bricks, because it's just getting ridiculous on that corner. I'm just hating coming to the allotment and seeing those line of white bags. That's just such a shame. We've put so much effort to try to get this plot back into an acceptable state. I appreciate there's still a lot of weeds and it's still a work in progress, but this alone is just taking so much of our effort away. Obviously, we also have the pond or the water feature area, which we are incredibly eager to get started. But it's just things got in the way. The weather, the frost got in the way, much harder frost than we usually get. Damage from the storm three times. Lost count. Well, that was an extremely long introduction. We are almost out of coffee, so I think it's a good sign to say it's time to get started. So I think just now what I will do is the potatoes. So bear in mind, I have no idea how these ones will go. Are very wet as well today. So the first thing is I'm just gonna pull out any dead foliage and any weeds growing in there, because I'm gonna be reusing this compost. So just want to make it usable, basically. Once I've got everything pulled out, I will be adding some spud galore, so some fertilizer. I'm using spud galores, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ones out there. Right, so I was planning to do this on time lapse. I've done the first bucket and I was gonna pause it to come back to a real-time video, and I've realized that I probably pressed twice on the button to start the recording, so I've not actually got that first bucket on the time lapse, unfortunately. I'll make sure to get the other three on time lapse though. But for a first one, I mean, it's not great. It's just a few potatoes like that. Unfortunately, the biggest one of them all, I think it's quite badly damaged, so I think half of it will be just gone, and there's some very tiny wee tots in there. But given that they were only probably about 6-7 weeks at most in the ground, it's actually, I'm happy with this. I'm pretty happy with this harvest. So obviously I won't make amazing chips with that, but it's a bit of cleaning. I'll leave them to cure for, I'll do the other three by the way, but I'll leave them to cure for a couple of days in the greenhouse like that to dry out a bit. Then I'll give them a light brush and then I can store them away. Well, very surprising results, and I've actually put them apart aside, not to mix them, but it's not great, but this is what I harvested from the one that never actually had any foliage on, which I thought I would have literally nothing at all. Not too bad from something that had nothing in. So tilt up. Overall, this is the harvest today. Another day and a quick visit today at the allotment. On Tuesday I was meant to pop over to pick up all the rubble bags. I didn't manage. I had something that came up for the afternoon and I didn't manage to come over here. So I've got an hour or so just now before going to an appointment. And the car is still empty just now, but it's not gonna last, so I thought I better come and get those bags. There's a few people here today, so I don't think I'll be able to do much filming. I was gonna put a camera and then show like a time lapse of the bags being removed, but I don't want to do that because there's a lot of people coming up and down, and if I put the camera, I'd say they're gonna be in my way when I'm coming out, or it's gonna be facing the path to come in and out, so I don't want to do that. But I'll show you quickly what it looks like just in case you don't remember the mess. There you go. So this is the bags, not the slabs, not the bricks or the monoblocks which are there, those ones are staying, but all those bags full of rubble, they are the one going, and some of that as well, not those ones which are still needed to be moved away from there, and I've still not done it, but all this is all rubble to go. I need to take the wheelbarrow, load the stuff, take them down, so I'm not going to film all this. I might show you afterwards. Anyway, stop putting it back I need to get those bags. I don't want to do it. Can you tell? Can you tell? I'm procrastinating today. I am procrastinating. I literally have an hour ahead of me, and I know that there's road work on the way, and it's not going to be fun to get there. So potentially will put me late for the appointment I've got. But I'm just putting it. I just can't be bothered. It's heavy. It's wet as well just now. Anyway, I need to do it. See you later. You still here? All right, okay. So, good half an hour. Fortunately, I miscounted the bags. So what happened is I've got some small and some really big long bags. And I thought they were like long bags, but it actually was, most of them were like 2 small bags piled up on top of each other. So it wasn't a dozen bag, it's actually 20 bags full of rubble. As you can see, it's a bit hot. It's a bit hot now. So I managed to take 17 of those 20 bags. I just couldn't take them all. I've got a tow bar on my car, and well, if I take a speed bump just now, the tow bar will stay on the other side, so I can't take more than that. So I've taken 17 just now. Maybe Tony will be able to take the rest. If not, I'll take them another day. Let me show you. All this is clear now. Actually need to put a few bricks to hold this in place properly now. But all this is clear now. You wouldn't believe the amount of big bits of glass that I found lying along there. That was just crazy. So all there's left is those, I think it's 3 bags. Looks like 3 bags. Those broken slabs. Those old edging. And then a couple of bits of wood and that bit of plastic. And that's it. That looks already a million times better when you come up to the allotment. You know, it's just a tiny bit there, but then the rest is all clear. And soon enough, we will have the peas in that bit, so it's gonna look a million times better. So you may have noticed during this absolutely fabulous drone shot, there's a door, a greenhouse door lying outside. So just near the clubhouse, there's a pile of scrap metal from greenhouses that didn't survive the storm. And part of that, there's actually a door which is damaged, but the railing at the top is actually in good condition. I don't think it's the right size. I've not checked, to be fair. I've just brought it back, put it there, and that was it. So I need to double check, make sure that's the right one. But what I'm thinking is, even if I cannot harvest the whole rail and replace the whole rail at the top, this one has 2 intact guide wheels. So it's missing. So there's 4 wheels basically on that door. There's 2 which are inside the rail and just glide along basically, and there's 2 which are they've got a channel inside, and it goes over the railing, and it's the guide one. And that's what we're missing here, which means that those ones are supposed to be basically supporting the whole lot, and the other ones are just like gliding along, but inside a channel that's much larger, if it makes sense. But the fact that obviously those guides are not sitting on top and guiding, well, that wheel inside this massive stuff is just moving about, so it makes it a bit difficult. The wheel can sometimes move, or the door can sometimes move a bit sideways and just jam in the stuff. The thing is, I don't have a screwdriver with me to take the railing off, or whatever it's called, the top of the door basically off. So I've taken the whole door and I'll just put it back on the pile once I've got the screwdriver and once I can check that it actually fits in this one. Another lovely day today. Sun's out. The sky, well, you can quite see it, but you see it a bit over there. Sky is blue. We've got the seed box and we've got another wee box that we need to take care of. We are doing the melon and we'll be doing probably just a tad early, but we're gonna do some sunflowers as well. I've been questioning myself a lot about this one. Should I or should I not? I think that I shouldn't won the fight, but he's not there just now, so let's plant a few. Right, actually I forgot I've got the melon as well to do, so I will need more compost. Oh, goodness. First day on the job, I forgot to put the vermiculite through this. Right, for the melon, I will use those trays. They are easily detachable, they're not broken. It's meant to be easily detachable like then. I can't remember where I got those ones, but I got hundreds of these ones. Let's fill that up, and then I'm thinking I've got 130 seeds. So I'm thinking that I might do 3 per module and just thin out to the best one. Right, I've been a bit stupid. To be fair, I should have put them in the tray. I'm going to use a gravel tray anyway underneath, so I should have put them in the gravel tray before filling them up and mostly before getting them wet. So let's see if I can just easy. There we go. Another tray done. Right, the last job that we have to do is put up the strawberries. So I've got some general multi-purpose compost in here, which I'm going to use for that. I don't want to use the seed sowing compost because there's no point. I just need to work out how many I've got exactly. So let's try to get this off carefully and we'll lay them down just here. 3, 4, 5, 6, and a tiny wee tot there that will go. What's this? This one. There you go. finishing this week's vlog with this beautiful sunshine. It's getting in my face, so I don't know if you can see I've got one eye shut just now. It's just there, just there. So quite frankly, I'm really chilling today. I watered the plant this morning. I've taken a couple of stuff off the heat mat, and I've taken a couple of the lids off. Everything's growing like mad today. Well, this weekend obviously was the extra heat. What I have done though, and I've not filmed any of this because it's not particularly interesting, and it would have been tricky for me to film this anyway. So the water butt here doesn't fill up, or it doesn't seem to fill up past the tap. So I'm not sure if there's a hole in the water butt or if there's another problem. So I've taken the water butt off, filled it up about a quarter. I couldn't see any hole whatsoever on there. So I'm thinking it's maybe the seal or something like that. So I've got the water in. It's just on a bench, just now, away from its position. And I've obviously left the tap shut, and I will see if there's any puddle around in a wee while, just so I can kind of see if there's a puddle. I should be able to identify where it's coming from and hopefully sort out the problem. The other thing that I've noticed is, so this greenhouse is perfectly level. When I've put it up, I made sure to put my wood, obviously it's on a wooden frame, so the wood was perfectly level. But the greenhouse is really heavy. It's really, really sturdy greenhouse, but really heavy. And it's sunk a bit, so I'd say the entrance is here, and the back seems to have sunk a bit. I've not checked what's the spirit level, so I'm not sure if it's just one corner or if it's the whole back that sunk a bit. Not much at all, but just enough for when I'm pouring water from the window, so like in the middle. I used to go, literally, it was so level that I was just going on both sides. And here it's just going towards the back. What I'm thinking is I could get like one of those L brackets or something like that, and just put it enough so it pushes the gutter on the back up a bit, so just make the water flow the other way around, if it makes sense. I'll check after this video, and I'll make sure to fill you in next week if I find a solution for this. Thank you very much anyway for joining today. If you enjoyed this video, as usual, I would really appreciate a thumb up. That really helps the video, really helps the channel. And if you are not a subscriber yet, I would really appreciate if you consider subscribing. Please leave a comment as well. It's the last couple of videos have been, it's been a bit less comments, and I'm really enjoying seeing comments, you know, even if it's just to say hi and just tell me what you've been doing in this beautiful weather. Hopefully you have some beautiful weather on your side as well. Thank you for joining today. Hope to see you soon. Bye.